The challenge most people face while wanting to move outside or to relocate to a different country is that they need a job that would sponsor their visa, and this is where 80% of the people get stuck because they can't find a job that offers visa sponsorship, or if their qualifications aren't what recruiters are looking for, or because their jobs are not highly demanded in the country that they want to move. Now, what if I told you that despite all of this, there may still be a way for you to move to Germany even without a job? Shocking but true. Now, if you want to know more about this, keep reading. If you wish to come to Germany from a third country, you will require a residence permit. The type of title is based on what you want to move to Germany for. If you belong to the EU, this is obviously not going to be a challenge for you. EU citizens can move and work in Germany without any issues. They can find a job and move, or they can move and then look for a job. Both work. However, if you don't belong to the EU, things are a little different. There are three major ways you can move to the UK for work, to study, or family reunification. When it comes to working routes, there is an extensive list. There's skilled workers with vocational training, skilled workers within academic education, skilled workers without training, scientists, intracorporate transfer, self-employment, and freelancing or pair work, internships, voluntary service, and many more. The form of favorable routes, which will allow you to move to Germany, and that they aren't limited only to work visas. Starting off with an EU Blue Card. An EU Blue Card gives highly qualified workers from outside the EU the right to live and work in a new country, provided they have higher professional qualifications such as a university degree and an employment contract or a binding job offer with a high salary compared to the average in the EU country where the job is. The EU Blue Card applies in 25 of the 27 EU countries. It does not apply in Denmark and Ireland. Speaking of highly qualified workers, how do you know if you're one? You are considered a highly qualified worker if you have a work contract of at least 1 year, and if you meet the conditions listed. Like, you must prove you have higher professional qualifications by showing educational qualifications such as a university degree. You must work as a paid employee. Your annual gross salary must be at least €56,400, and for employees in the fields of mathematics, IT, natural sciences, engineering, and human medicine, at least €43,992 as of 2022. You must present a work contract or a binding job offer in an EU country for at least 1 year, and the best part is, with an EU Blue Card you can apply for a settlement permit in Germany after 33 months, and it further reduces to 21 months if a card holder can provide proof of adequate knowledge of German, which is level B1. The second route is if you are a citizen of select countries. If you belong to certain countries, you don't even have to bother with the Blue Card. Citizens of Australia, Canada, Israel, Japan, New Zealand, South Korea, and the US do not need a permit to live or work in Germany. Getting a job and a residence permit through this route is easier than for other countries. If you belong to one of these countries, you can come to Germany without a visa and look for the job. Once in Germany, you will need to obtain a residence permit allowing you to work in Germany. If you belong to any of these countries and you do get a job that is willing to offer you a visa sponsorship, take up the job and apply for a residence permit, and you don't even need to go back to your home country to apply for a visa. The third option is to become a student. If you are from the US, Canada, UK, and a few other countries which are visa exempt, to enter Germany you don't need to apply for a visa in advance. You can come to Germany, sign up for a German course, and then apply for a residence permit. If you are not from these countries, you have two options. You can either do an intensive German language course, which will allow you to stay in Germany for up to 12 months on the condition that you have classes every day for at least 18 hours per week, and after this, You could study a further degree, or you can come to Germany to study here as long as you're admitted to a full-time course of study by a higher education institution. You must also be able to support yourself, and education in Germany is very affordable, and the overall costs are incomparably cheaper than other popular student destinations like the US, Australia, or Canada. After graduation, a residence permit may be extended for a maximum of 1.5 years for the purpose of seeking a job, and that is open to all non-EU citizens appropriate to your qualifications. If you do get an appropriate job, you can get a work visa. If a project for self-employment is acceptable, the foreigner's authority may grant a change of status to become self-employed, and if the applicant is highly qualified, the foreigner's authority may also grant a change of status and a permanent residence permit. You can be given an open-ended residence title in Germany once you have obtained a degree or adopted it from a German higher education institution and worked in a job matching your qualifications for 2 years. And the fourth option is to be self-employed. You can immigrate to Germany if you'd like to work here on a self-employed or a freelance basis. To be self-employed in Germany, you must first obtain a visa to enter Germany. Once in Germany, you must obtain a residence permit allowing for self-employment. You can become a self-employed person in Germany if you are a non-EU citizen. You don't need a company to sponsor you if you meet the requirements. There are 2 categories for self-employed persons. One is freelancers and the other is entrepreneurs. The activities you will want to perform will determine whether you fall in the category of freelancer or a self-employed person. A residence permit for the purpose of self-employed activities is granted only if a superior economic interest or a special regional need exists, or if an economic benefit is expected from the occupation. The good news is that while a residence permit for the purpose of self-employment is valid for a maximum of 3 years, you can then apply for an unlimited settlement permit.